In 2024, more than a third of eligible Americans did not vote. When you started Chapter 7, that number was a statistic. Now you have a framework to explain it, not as a failure of civic virtue, but as the predictable result of structural barriers that fall hardest on those with the fewest resources. Module 1 showed you that the right to vote was never simply given. It was fought for through the 15th, 19th, and 26th Amendments, and has had to be defended ever since. Education, income, age, civic duty, and partisan loyalty predict who votes. European-style automatic registration alone would raise U.S. turnout by roughly 10 percentage points. The participation gap is structural, not cultural. Module 2 revealed the paradox. Americans vote less than Europeans, but campaign, lobby, and organize at far higher rates. Social capital, the networks of civic trust Robert Putnam documented, is the engine that converts individual participation into collective political power. As Putnam warned, its decline has left ordinary citizens with fewer tools to amplify their voice. Module 3 asked what happens when elections feel insufficient. Political movements, from the Tea Party to Occupy Wall Street to Black Lives Matter, operate outside electoral schedules. The Tea Party built lasting change by institutionalizing inside the Republican Party. Occupy rejected institutional links and faded when its encampments were cleared. Success is measured not by the size of the march, but by what comes after the march ends. Module 4 confronted the hardest question. Those who need government most participate least. The APSA report found that ordinary Americans speak in a whisper while the most advantaged roar. But the lesson of Chapter 7 is that this gap is not inevitable. It is structural, and what is structural can be changed. Political power is not fixed. Participation is how ordinary citizens claim it. Right now, decisions are being made that will shape your life for decades. A city council is voting on zoning that determines whether your generation can afford to live here. A state legislature is debating climate rules that will define the economy you enter. These are not abstract questions. They are the conditions of your daily life. And as Chapter 7 showed, the people in the room when those decisions happen are not a random sample of citizens. They are the people who showed up. You now have the framework to understand why that gap exists and what it takes to close it. So here is the question this chapter leaves with you. What is your next participation decision? Will you register to vote or verify your registration is still current? Will you contact your city council member about a local issue in your community? Will you join a civic organization, attend a public meeting, or volunteer for a campaign? The APSA report said ordinary citizens speak in a whisper. Chapter 7 gave you the knowledge. The volume is up to you.